In other countries' contexts, growth and jobs are there, but in Colombian context, in addition to these two, taxes is also one of the factor. And you have to make some kind of like table or this flow chart or something like that, this star effect or whatsoever, right? So use it more presentable way, right? And
Yes.
this discussion and conclusion part is very limited. You see here only 38 pages, which is not acceptable, including the references. It means it's not more than 30 or 25 pages. So this much thesis is not recommended. At least you have to make a 50 pages as well. If you cannot do that, then give your best shot. You can always, in limitation, you can mention that there was like a corona stuff, there was social distancing, and limited time period whatsoever. And in presentation, you can talk about that. You have to leave the country. Over there were like so much distress. I leave the country to Americans, so I don't have much time to gather all the information, right? And you can mention in presentation, but not here, right? So give your best shot. Make it at least to 45 pages with proper formatting. I think you can do that, right? So your
Yes.
core stuff is your methodology, your findings, your conclusions, and recommendation. Nobody is going to be read your literature review. Nobody gonna do that because that is the biggest part. But everybody is interested what you have found. So if I ask this question, what is special in your thesis? Tell me what
I
special what special you found.
that the devaluation of the currency, it's reflected in the political, economical, and social aspects of a country, and all of this together they incur when the price is devaluated, the imports go down and the local manufacture goes up. And as this, the best way to reflect this is by increasing the local manufacturing, and it has its advantages that it can
Yes, I already
employ.
know that. This is a theoretical definition that you are talking about. If country currency devaluate, what happened? It imports looks very expensive. People, they don't buy, they prefer their local stuff, right? So the local jobs gonna be increased and all the stuff. So what have you found?
Like I have, like in what do you think about the table that I did the comparison of the textiles? I did that price. Like
This
I
one,
did
right?
that with the one. Yeah,
This is your stuff, right?
yeah, I did it.
Very nice. Then make it into a bigger one. You can go to the page layout. You can break the page here. For example, layout.
I
Then
have that in Excel.
right, you just next section, break to the next section, right, and use this one as a landscape. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And then copy this one and paste it here. You understand? Now this
Yes.
is your work. Also make it source here. That source column author estimation. Okay? And make it like a beautiful stuff. This is just a table. You mentioned it. Okay. And also make some kind of flow chart, something you have found, like make some kind of diagram or some kind of graph or something. You can do that in addition to this one as well. You understand? I'm going to sending you this file as well so that you can just find out that. Okay.
Okay.
See, you see here there are a lot of discussion. See, it is evident like that, like that, like that. But the question is, if I read this one, I lose my interest, right? So if you want to explain this one, you can also explain it through some kind of flow chart, some kind of a diagram as well. In 2015, it was like this. You can make some kind of like flow chart. In 2015, it was COP. The Colombian pesos were like this. In 17 like this. In 18 like this. It's like that. You can make it like this. And I have explained it in this figure as well. So that when I have this interest, wait, what's going on here? So that instead of I just read all this stuff, I just can see the diagram. I can find out that, okay, this guy has done a very nice job, right? And don't use the word risk, because this thesis is not about finding risk, perceived risk. Okay, this thesis is all about impact of, already we find out the currency devaluation factor, one factor. There are other factors as well, but we have just investigating one factor, not the other factor. So you can just mention that due to this currency devaluation, we can have other factors. But the main factor is currency devaluation, not some kind of risk. So in your question, you see here, what are the perceived risks that currency devaluation can cause Colombian industry? So you can say that what are the
Yeah.
effects of currency devaluation that can cause, or that can, what are the impacts of currency devaluation on Colombian textile? Because you didn't mention some kind of risk factor, only just you did pest analysis, that's it, right? On pest analysis, you can say that one of the factor is risk, other factors are like economical, political, and all those stuff, right? So you can say that everything looks good. And your recommendation and discussion, what are these? Okay, here we go. Very nice. Now the discussion. Now this discussion is regarding topics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Very nice.
I was thinking of doing the pest analysis like on a graph format, like on a table format. Or you think I
Well,
should like that as well?
now my question is that where you have applied your theories.
I applied like one of the theories that was the elasticity of demand,
So did you
elasticity of
mention in your findings that the elasticity of demand we applied here, and we found this one confirming the theory? In your discussion, you can also write it down that you also applied the elasticity of demand approach, and you find out that this research is also supporting that approach, where when the price is increased, and this product is, which one, this product is more elastic or less elastic,
it's more elastic when the price goes up.
right? When the price goes up, you don't want to buy, right? So mention this kind of stuff, that we have found that because there are industry, local industry as well, and local industry was a little bit expensive before, but this currency devaluation caused foreign products to look more expensive, so people switch their demand to local demand. Or you can just make a small headings, the the result, or finding from our, in discussion or in finding, you can write it down a very small heading, not more than 3 to 4 lines, or maybe 5 lines. You can write it down. You can mention that the findings from our, the elasticity approach. You can find out like that, because people have substitute of local industry, so they switch their demands to this one. If you don't have local production, that it is inelastic. No matter what is the price, you still need to buy. because you don't have any other option, right? Write it down over there as well.
Yeah,
It's not
I
more
think
than
I will put that after the past analysis. Do you think the past analysis was well elaborated,
it is
applied?
well elaborated, but also mention in your theoretical framework that you are also using this theory to find out your second research question. What are
Okay.
the factors that affect me due to this currency devaluation? What are the factors that affect the textile industry? You are using past analysis, also mentioned over there in theoretical framework, and these are the findings of your theory that you applied, right? And you have discussed in your finding as well. So discussion is pretty. Here we go. Discussion look good, very nice. And here, in conclusion, where are the conclusion? Here, mention your research question. You have concluded this thesis. You have found the answer of research question 1, and just rewrite that one. Copy from where you have find out that, rewrite here that you have found, and you can also you can read from this paragraph on page this one, right? Or under this heading you can also find out that. Just try to rearrange, copy paste that paragraph, write it down here, and in your own words write it down again so that you can have more length to cover, right? You understand that? So write it down 3 questions and you mention over there, okay, you find that this and this. And in recommendation you also mention the how this thesis is going to be used by the researchers, or means the students or the professionals. Just mention over there, right? And also mention future research, or no, you already mentioned that in your limitations, right? In your limitations you can also mention that we have just applied one theory, which is the elasticity theory. There are going to be more mathematical theories, more economics theory in future somebody can apply over there, because I have very limited time, right? And I'm only for graduate student. It's not a postgraduate study, it's not a PhD study, right? So author does realize its limitation regarding the financial econometrics and all those stuff, right? So that this thesis looks more legit. Okay, you understand that? So follow
Yes,
these
sir.
guidelines and pay attention to your formatting as well. You need to submit your thesis on 16, right? You get it, the email, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
fixed.
I would be available in this time period. You just need to message me. Okay, I would be available for your whatsoever you want to talk about. But the points that I have mentioned here do address that, right? And after this submission, try to make some PPTs, and we're gonna have one presentation of this thesis before your final defense, so that I can give you some tips how you can what kind of questions going to be asked. It's like that. Okay, so but first you
But
need to finish all your thesis like that, and
do
on
you
a very
think
nice formatting as well.
overall, do you think is well applied or still? Well, I'm gonna do all these changes, of course, and after all that will be
If you
well
can do
applied.
this, all these changes tomorrow, I can sign it. I need to submit your midterm evaluation on 13. That is the maximum day, but I didn't submit that. I asked 1 day extension. So I'm going to be doing this midterm evaluation